I'm gonna keep this video short only because I don't really have many good things to say about the book Tough Guy. It's not that good. It's not that good. And this isn't a surprise. I've seen so many people do like rankings of the books, and usually their lowest is Tough Guy. I don't like the dynamic they have, and I don't like they don't have chemistry. They do not have chemistry. There's also just some bits and pieces that I just don't like. So let's get into that. So Fabian, he's a gay guy, right? He's quite like, I don't know. I feel like he doesn't have much personality, if I'm gonna be so honest. He does have his wants, and stuff like that, like in a book. But it's just not like there. It really isn't a want. It's more so he already has it, you know. I don't know. I feel like there's no plot. There's no plot. I mean, they for sure they get together. There's conflict, but I feel like there's no end goal other than them being happy together, you know? There's like not really a subplot either. Not all books need or have a subplot, but like it took me so long to finish that book because I got so bored. It was just I just could not get through that book. It was not good. Fabian, you know, he's gay, and he's very vocal about that, and also I don't like, just from how he's described, I don't think he needs to be vocal about that. And his friends are assholes, and I do not like them. Dude, if my friends were like that, I'm never hanging out with them ever again. Because tell me why, when Fabian and Ryan had like finally like when they reconnected after 13 years of having not seeing each other, they were being really weird. Like when he came over to the bar, they were like suggesting that they both wanted to sleep with each other. That's weird, man. Like, what if they were just friends who wanted to reconnect and they both happen to be gay? That's so weird. And Fabian's friends are gay too, so they should also know this. I don't like it. And like the book tries to play it off as them being like, oh, like they're just like that. Oh, like they're assholes, but like friend, like in a friend way. No, they're just being assholes. They're just being assholes. Ugh, bro, they piss me off so bad. I also forget Fabian's friend, but she's a lesbian and stuff like that. I don't like how she's described in the book. And for sure people like this do exist, but in this scenario, it seems almost stereotypical in a way. So she is a lesbian feminist, and she has like a bunch of pins and stuff on her bag that say that she's a lesbian feminist. And there's nothing wrong with being a lesbian feminist, and I feel like most lesbians are feminists, so it was kind of like self-explanatory. Because if you're a lesbian, why wouldn't you be a feminist? That's the real question. And she also works at a specific shop, if you know what I mean, like not a smoke shop, a different kind of adult shop. And so that's cool details, right? But we don't get many other details from his other friends, and I guess that's because like they're closer in a way. No, it's just weird. I don't know, like it's inconsistent when it comes to explaining the other friends when it comes to her. I feel like there's also just a lot of TMI, you know, and it, like my friends who are watching this who know me, they know that TMI does not exist with me, you know, and I read fan fiction all the time. So usually like intimate scenes, they're fine. I can read them. They're cool, you know. Yeah, a lot of people say that I read the Game Changer series because only for the intimate scenes. That's not true. If I wanted intimate scenes between two characters that I really, really liked, I would just go on AO3 or Wattpad. Like, actually, like, that's ridiculous. I would not pay freaking $20-something for a book just for the intimate scenes and just for it to be trash. No, I'm reading it for the hockey, because there's actually a lot of hockey in these books. Like, a lot of people were saying how annoying it was, but not true. Anyway, yeah, so there's just a lot of like TMI. Like when the book starts, Ryan Price, he's like chronically anxious. And that's because he just has anxiety. So he's just born that way. And one of the things that he doesn't like, and it's a part of his job, is that he has to fight people. People who don't know about hockey is that like fighting is a very common thing for some reason. And he doesn't like doing that. And his team, they're assholes. They only see him for that. Except Wyatt. He's awesome. We love Wyatt. Oh my gosh. So, okay, real quick. I'm reading this one and he's in it. Oh! I'm so happy we get to see more of him because he was such a great friend to Ryan. And then he got traded and then it got, sad and stuff. But yeah, so everyone else in his team only thought of him as the fighter so he can like protect their captain, who by the way is an actual complete asshole. He's a rapist. He's a homophobe. He's just a bad person in general. Yeah, more on that when I get to the role model book. We'll speak about that later because it's a little complicated and I like it actually. I like complicated. I like gray characters. Anyway, I feel like there could have been more with their dynamic because Fabian and Ryan, it's almost like opposites attract, but it's not the way that you would think. Or it's like two versions of the opposites attract. So Ryan in a more like visual way, Ryan is a very tall, buff man, and Fabian is more average size, maybe like lean per se, and he's a lot more feminine, and that's cool. Okay, the cover. We'll go back more on the opposites attract, but the cover sucks. The cover sucks. It sucks. No hate, actually, because I don't want to be mean. I do not want to be mean, but these covers, I hate them. I hate these covers. They're ugly. I'd rather have the original covers, and the original covers were just of like dudes' torsos. Okay, so I'm very picky when it comes to my covers. Like, okay, what happened to just books having no cover? Like, hold on. What happened to books having no cover? Okay, so this one does have a cover, but when you take it off, it's cute. It's simple. What happened to that? Because now we have these disgusting multicolored neon shits in your face. Oh, you didn't see that. Because now we have these bright colors and stuff. I feel like, okay, because what is this? Okay, this isn't Tough Guy, obviously, but this is such an ugly cover. It's ugly. What happened to get it to like getting commissions from artists? Like, for sure, that's what that is. But it's nowadays all romance books are like that. It's copy paste. And I hate it. I loathe it. Oh. Also, for some reason, even though like Rachel Reed, the author, probably had to like see if obviously she's gonna look at the covers to see if it's accurate or not. It just doesn't match the characters at all. For example, Game Changers book. The cover. No. We're gonna start inside the book. So in the book, Kip and Scott. For sure, there's a height difference, but they're the same body type. The cover shows Kip to be skinnier, almost twinkish. Like, okay, I'm very picky with covers. Duh, this is obvious already. And I don't like the ones where like when a movie comes out for it and then they, get a movie cover. It just depends. It just depends. Like the more recent one, like the Project Hail Mary one, that one wasn't that bad. I have the original cover, and I kind of regret getting the original one and not the Ryan Gosling one. That might just because I love Ryan Gosling too much, but you know. But now, like, the Wicked one, I couldn't find the original cover. The original cover was badass. But now I just have the fucking... I literally I redid the cover. I made it into a hardcover because I hated the fucking thing so bad. So, yeah. Anyway, the only one that I willingly have that is a movie cover is the Mysterio Skin one. That one's okay because the movie... We don't talk about the movie. But I feel like these books need to have the show cover on the fucking pages. And for sure, like, the other books aren't gonna have one. But just as we go on with the series, the books need to have a show cover. Please. Please. I'm begging. Because these covers are ugly. They're ugly. I was embarrassed to walk around in public. I still am. Even though this one is fine. This one's fine. It's kind of cute, actually. Only because I like that you can actually see their emotions. It's kind of hard when there's, like, no line art. I just hate this art style so much. So much. And it sucks because most people are using these. And then I've seen people where they're doing, like, oh, do you want to know what so-and-so from this book would look like? I use ChatGPT. What? And then I look on their page and their whole thing is reading. What? How can a reader, even writer, use ChatGPT AI to look this up? What? Like, this is crazy. And then I go on Instagram and then I see beautiful art, beautiful fan art of the characters, and then I get happy, and then I follow them because they're cool and they're cute, and I'm like, aww. And then it makes me kind of like the books now because it has cute art. Maybe that's why I don't like the books. Maybe it's because the cover art isn't that bad. Anyway, back to the comparison. So yeah, physically they're different, and they are more so opposites attract because Ryan is way more masculine than Fabian. There really is no conflict with that, which I love. Matter of fact, Fabian is Ryan's exact type, which is cute. And then also, when it comes to the kind of person they are, obviously we don't get much of their personality in a way. Kind of. I guess I take back my statement. Fabian is very playful, but also very dominant when it comes to, like, talking to other people. Like, a lot of people, when they think of very feminine men, they think of them as, like, that's, like, their whole personality is just being feminine and gay. But there is, you know, a person is deeper than that, you know. So we get to see more of that, which is very cool. So he's you know, he's a cool guy. He has a music career, which has gone pretty far for him. We also, in the role model book, we do get a cameo. He's a frequent listener of Fabian. I don't know how to pronounce his name, so I don't want to say it because I feel like I want to, like, mess it up or something. So yeah. Oh yeah, also, Ryan is very shy. He's very reserved, kept to himself, partially because he's, like, very, very anxious. Honestly, that's kind of real. Yeah. So that's like, you know, opposites attract, very cute, very awesome. But I also feel like there is no, like, connection between the two, only because they don't really have anything in common other than the fact that they love each other, which isn't wrong. That's if like people like that exist and they actually are in a healthy relationship, that's cool. That's fine as long as you guys are good to each other. But in a romance book, I'm not looking for that because then I can just go talk to my friends and ask them about their boyfriends or girlfriends, low-key. No hate to them. Anyway. But I feel like there has to be a connection, you know. Like, let's take Game Changers. Scott and Kip, they both like hockey. Kip said that he really wasn't a watcher up until he started having a crush on Scott. So there's motivation for him to get into that again. So they both like hockey. Cool. Heated rivalry is a little complicated, but they have a lot in common, per se. They both love hockey. They're both very passionate about hockey. They're both closeted gay men, and they can relate to one another. They both struggle a lot. So, you know, that's that. Then tough guy, I don't think that they have much in common, but we learn more that they just love each other for each other. And that's great. That's awesome. Because Ryan does love Fabian, and he loves what he does. And I think that's great. That's great. Yeah. Oh yeah, but when Fabian learns about what Ryan does, so Ryan doesn't like that Fabian is watching him fight, but Fabian goes out of his way to look him up and watch him, because freaking compilations of people fighting and stuff. He goes out of his way to go do that. That's some boundary breaking stuff right there, because here's the thing. Obviously, Ryan probably has no say in what people post about him and stuff. And I feel like that's a boundary of his, that he doesn't want Fabian looking at his fighting stuff. And Fabian goes out of his way to look it up. He doesn't watch hockey, but he doesn't want him doing it. Not because he cares about his safety, but just because he doesn't like to see someone so violent. Bitch, what? What? You know, if I was in his shoes and I saw that, I would be concerned for his health. And there is actually a point where he is concerned for his health, but it's when it got too far. He messed up his back, and Ryan kept on playing games, and that's when he was like, "This isn't good for you. You need to stop." And that's the only time he cared for him, in his health. And I feel like why when it's that bad do you care about his health? Why not when it's already in this small stage, you know? So yeah, he kind of pissed me off. And Fabian, he kind of seems almost entitled in a way, and it's really annoying. I don't know, he thinks he deserves the best, and it takes him a little longer to realize that they both deserve good things, you know? Do you know what I mean? Because he thinks of himself first, which, okay, in any situation, think of yourself first always if it comes to, life or death kind of stuff. Or if you're in a toxic relationship, think of yourself. But then also think for the other person, too, you know? Because I don't want this to seem, controversial or anything. I'm kind of a people pleaser, so this is a little complicated for me. It took Fabian a few days to realize oh, they both deserve good things, you know? And it's not a complicated decision or a complicated situation where Ryan did something bad and Fabian's I don't deserve this, and then he feels bad for himself, and then he's wait, no, we both no. Fabian was almost in the wrong here. And he was I don't deserve this. And he doesn't care about the other person's feelings. And then he realizes, that he did something wrong, you know? So I didn't like that. That wasn't cool. Was not cool. What else? There really isn't much to say, because I really just don't like this book. Honestly, it's just not good. There are some cute bits that I like where they're, getting along and stuff. It's honestly a whatever book, honestly, I'm gonna be so for real. This is gonna be a short video because, it's literally, it's just not that great. It's not that great. Honestly, I wish there was more representation of different kinds of dynamics when it came to, also being in bed, you know? I thought this was gonna be, a soft dom kind of thing, because if you read the book, it doesn't make sense that Ryan is a top. Or, I don't know. I feel when they're intimate, it just doesn't make sense. Because I'm not just saying this because Ryan is such a shy person. It just doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. This man has anxiety. And it said in the book, I can't remember where, but I swear it said in the book that he needed reassurance, like, to make sure that he was doing everything okay during their intimate scenes. So why is he a top? Why is he a top? Why? I feel like I'm thinking about this too much, because now I'm thinking, like, wait, that doesn't really make sense either. I don't know. Maybe he could be a switch. I don't know. I don't know. And then also, it doesn't make sense that Fabian's a bottom. If anything, he's probably a power bottom. I don't know. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. This book does not make sense. This book is so bad. It doesn't make sense. Rachel Reed, please talk to gay men. Please subscribe, hit the like button. I want to make money and I do this for fun because I like reading.